Hey, this is Jeff. Welcome back to Coito Ergo Sum, Less Talk, More Action, a series which is probably about to demonstrate the difference between efficient and effective. Last week we failed to prevent President Kimball's assassination at Hoover Dam, and I want to tell Fiona about it. It occurred to me that with invisible wall remover installed, I could probably make a pretty straight shot of it rather than zigzagging all over the Mojave. So I set a map marker on lollipops and headed pretty much due west. I was going to off-screen the whole trip, and from the dam, past Boulder City, and up onto the hills behind Vault 11, everything was completely uneventful, as expected. I'm a good bit south of my usual safe route over the hill between the rock crushing plant and Bonnie Springs. And that route works in the vanilla game without invisible wall remover, by the way. But anyway, I wasn't terribly surprised that I ran into a Deathclaw. Even though we're not that close to Quarry Junction, they have a huge foraging range north and northeast of there. So I killed it, but then two came to the funeral, and I figured I'd better start recording. Yeah, I might actually be deeper in Deathclaw territory than I thought.
Stay out of the control room and enclosure or there's gonna be trouble. Got it?
Guess he's from the El Dorado substation. I never even got close enough to get a map marker for it, but that's where Yes Man's next mission is, and I guess the game wants to make damn sure I know the NCR will not be happy if I do it. Yeah, at least two more over there. Hopefully I can skirt around them. I'm going to lose my high ground advantage here in a minute, and I really don't want to fight them out in the open if I don't have to. It looks clear to the north. They can be anywhere around here, so just need to be alert. The infield is not going to help. I'm going to have to run if I... Alright. Junction 15 railway station. Oh, this is Route 15, north of Quarry Junction, I guess. Yeah, this is one of those places I don't come very often because the risk-to-reward ratio is too high. There's nothing really valuable or interesting around here, so unless you're specifically hunting Deathclaws for the achievement, or you're really hard-headed when everybody tells you if you're going to Vegas, take any road except Route 15, then there's not much reason to be here. Now, hopefully, I can get back up on the hill west of the road. Looks like, yeah, there's a missing texture on that rock. I'm not sure if the vanilla game has an invisible wall on that hill or not, but I can see it from down here. Which I realize it would be hard to playtest every square inch of terrain in an open-world game like this, especially in areas the player isn't supposed to be able to get to. It's just, you know, if you're going to make a terrain object that your landscape designers can rotate to any angle, why would you leave one side of those objects untextured? Oh, hello. 3 of them right there. I think we'll go the other way. Oh, correction. 4. Oh, no. 5. 6. Okay, I forget the name of that ranch, but that's the road that goes off of Route 15, the road that goes over to Vault 19. So this is just about the heaviest concentration outside the quarry itself, which is right there. Well, other than the Deathclaw Promontory east of the river. By the way, sorry, I mentioned the Deathclaw Promontory last week too, but I called it the Deathclaw Sanctuary, which is actually a location in Fallout 3. Anyway, I'm going to stick to the high ground. Great. Yeah, there's a little gully right there that could probably run right up. Deathclaws have pretty good perception, but my sneak skill's 100, so unless I do something really careless, I should be fine. Well, 3 of them right there. All right, well, I guess I'll just hug the hillside. I don't know. That's not very steep. They could probably get up here if they wanted to. Oh, alright, limestone rocks. I was a decent distance from the Quarry Junction map marker, but the quarry itself is huge, so it's probably just on the other side of that. Which is actually good, because of course they can walk up the excavation, but I don't think they can get up to the cliffs overlooking the pit. So if I can get up there, I should be safe from the ones inside and outside. All right. Come on. I know I can do this. And no, I don't consider this cheating or even unrealistic. I've done a bit of rock climbing in my day, and this is totally doable. Which is why I think it's cheating on the game designer's part to use invisible walls. In a perfect world, your character could have a friction coefficient based on your agility or even a separate climbing skill, but if the physics engine lets me climb it, I should be able to climb it, damn it. Yep, there we go. And there's the quarry. I thought I already killed the ones in here. I don't think they respawn. The ones outside do. But I know I got an egg for Jazz Wilkins because I have the recipe for Wasteland omelets. Maybe I just got lucky and one had an egg in its loot. No, I know I've been to the nest. Maybe I used a stealth boy or something. I don't know. No, there's the map marker, and I would have already had that if I snuck in the front. Oh, yeah, that's right. I came up the back way. There's like a plateau north of the valley where all the rad scorpions live, east of Good Springs Cemetery. It's no picnic either, but it's a lot easier than coming in the front. I don't remember if I was specifically after the eggs or if I was trying to get the endorsement from Melissa when I was getting to know the great cons. Probably both, since I wouldn't have wanted to make 2 trips. Speaking of which, as long as I'm in the neighborhood, let's swing by and ask her to pose for the magazine. It's kind of weird that she never leaves after you take her the shipment. I mean, if she actually tried to leave, she'd get eaten immediately. But lore-wise, she makes her connection, and Regis and Papacon both know that she agrees with you about the Legion. Well, assuming you complete the quest her way and don't sell her out. Yeah, I think that's her camp right over there. Yeah, that's it. And I'm not 100% sure if I'm in a part of the excavation the Deathclaws can reach at this point, so I'm just going to get a little higher if I can. Yep. There we go. I feel much safer now. And there's the plateau I was talking about. There are usually Deathclaws down there. Either they don't respawn or the draw distance is just too far to see them. If you're doing a pro NCR run, or if you just don't like the great cons, the Deathclaws can totally get to her camp. They ordinarily never go up there, but if you bait them in that direction, they'll slaughter Melissa and her bodyguards. I mean, it would be way less risky just to kill them yourself, but I guess if you're trying to scuttle her deal without pissing off the cons, that might be a way to get rid of them without gaining great con infamy. At the moment, I want to get over there without attracting their attention. We're going to have to drop down eventually because right over here... that is the back entrance, the gully that leads down to the plateau. Can I make that jump? No. Kind of surprised that fall didn't hurt. No death claws. Good. And Melissa should be right up here. I don't know, maybe she just likes this place better than Red Rock Canyon.
How's it going?
Did you know I publish a magazine? I'll pay you 50 caps if you pose nude for me.
Uh-huh.
What's the problem? Great cons usually seize an opportunity as soon as it appears.
It's usually a smart move, but in this place, I can't believe you.
Okay, a Deathclaw might interrupt us. So what? That's the thrill. Do you want to live forever?
Well, fuck it. I'm already exposed.
Sadly, Melissa is one of the characters who does an on-site photo shoot, so we don't get the free teleport back to the studio. And I'm not sure if her bodyguards disappear after you complete her quest, or if they actually did wander off and get killed by Deathclaws. Well, as much as I like the cons, I am not going to go looking for their bodies.
How's it going?
Goodbye.
Don't leave a trail.
All right. Now, if I've got this right, there's a ridge that separates the valley with the scorpions from the plateau with the Deathclaws, and hopefully I can skip along that without being exposed to either one. Just get on top of this and see where we are. Oh, perfect. Yeah, Good Spring Cemetery is beside that water tower. If I can get up there, I can take the Coyote Trail behind Doc Mitchell's house all the way to Lollipops and not even deal with the Cazadores. Although, I was just through there in the last episode, so they probably haven't respawned yet. If not, that would be even easier. Oh, I don't see any. I'm not sure how far down they are. But... yeah, that gully's usually a fairly safe shortcut from the cemetery to Route 160. Lets you bypass most of the Cazadores around the tribal village. Oh yeah, they're all dead still. Excellent. Okay, not all of them. Ooh, I think it's... looked like it was fighting a giant rad scorpion. Don't know what that would be doing here, but... yes! The scorpion killed the Cazador with its last sting and then died from the Cazador venom. Perfect. My friend, I will show my appreciation by having Ruby make a special casserole out of you. Ruby's Cazador killing Scorpion Supreme. That begs the question of what the hell a giant rad scorpion was doing here. I've never seen one spawn in this area. Well, I say that, but last episode I thought I saw one in that gully beside the cemetery. It must have glitched over the ridge or something and then walked down here. Anyway, we're home free at this point. And now we just need to give Fiona the good news.
Hola.
Maria?
How's it going, baby?
I assume you don't follow current events, but Caesar and Kimball are dead.
For real? Holy shit. Look, I know you didn't really do it for me, but thanks. I figure won't be the only one who sleeps better tonight.
So what are you going to do now?
What? I put a lot of effort into avoiding mood swings. You can't give me the best news I've had in 3 years and then fire me.
No, you can stay. I just thought...
You thought what? A little secondhand revenge was gonna turn me into Mary fucking Poppins and fly away? No, I kinda like it here.
Okay, goodbye.
See you around.
And let's check our finances while we're here. All right, good. Yeah, we're losing quite a bit of money. It's going to get even worse as more posters get torn down, but the share price is down to 68. So, we're back on track regarding that. There's a timer for Fiona. She actually does clean up now that you killed both Kimball and Caesar. Let's see how Fresca's doing with the movie.
Hey, I was wondering if you knew who won the Purvies in 77.
I think Jeremy Peterman won Best Director. I don't know about the other categories.
Good for him. He deserved it.
How's the movie coming?
Still editing. It looks pretty good.
Let's talk about your next movie.
Mo could always work on 3 projects at a time, but multitasking isn't my strong suit. I need to finish this one before I think about the next one.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, let's go home and get some food, water, and sleep, and see what's next on the agenda.
Let's go to bed. I'm so horny I could hump a death claw.
I like the sound of that. Well, not the humping a deathclaw part.
I thought you might. Let's go. Yes?
Are you okay with the fact that I make porno movies? You know what that is, right?
Coyote and I watched all kinds of films on Saffron's video player before he figured out movie dates really aren't my thing. The adult films weren't as subtle as classical drama, but they seemed more honest. They were definitely better than the westerns. Anyway, I wouldn't interfere with your livelihood, although I wouldn't expect it to be terribly satisfying either.
That feels like a passive-aggressive no.
Not at all. It's one thing to read the Kama Sutra, and another thing entirely to see it performed live.
You think I could have sex in a movie without actually enjoying it?
Yes, I believe that's why it's called being an actor.
Well, thanks, I guess. That was interesting, if not completely reassuring.
Oh, come on. You talked me into seeing the world. Where's your sense of adventure?
Well, back to work. I'll see you tonight.
Bye.
You never told me you dated Coyote. Coyote wasn't at home or with Fire and Rain, so let's try Cyandra's house. I don't remember recording any dialogue about Kekata for him, but that was 3 years ago, so yeah. Aw, they look so peaceful. I'm not going to wake them up. Now I'm curious if I asked different questions when I was romancing Kekata, if she would have mentioned it. Might have to load an old save, maybe make a bonus video if she did. Since we've got some time to kill before the movie's ready, let's recruit some more magazine models.
Hey. No offense, but you look like you've traveled a long way down some bad roads. Where'd you come from?
Courier Jeff never bothered talking to Veronica. I come from the grave.
Huh. Well, in that case, I take it back. You look pretty good, given the circumstances. Well, welcome then. I'm Veronica. I live in a hole in the ground.
You live in a hole in the ground?
Well, a bunker, if you want to get technical. I think it sounds more interesting my way. But I'm not there much anymore. I'm usually out here picking up food and supplies for my family, whatever they need.
So you just leave your family in the bunker?
Yeah, I'm not worried. They can handle themselves. But somebody has to get the groceries, know what I mean? And actually these days, I think they'd rather have me out here anyway. But that's a whole other story. So listen, can I ask you something on the level?
Go ahead.
I had a run-in with this group calling themselves the Brotherhood of Steel. Pretty strange bunch. Do you know anything about them?
I know way too much about them, in fact. You wouldn't believe the hoops they made me jump through. They ended up liking me a lot, even though I don't really care about their agenda.
Yeah, it's pretty far out, right? Fixating on old technology just doesn't seem very relevant to most people's lives. Hey, so where are you headed anyway?
What's it to you?
I'll be honest. You're the first person I've run across out here that looks like he can really handle himself. There are places I've never been to that'd be too dangerous for just me. What do you think? Maybe we could travel together. Help each other out.
Where are you hoping to go?
Oh, nowhere in particular, really. Just hoping to see more of the world. Looking for a fresh perspective. I want to see how different groups have adapted to survive in the Mojave. See if there's something I can learn from.
Then I'm your man. I have a functional printing press, a fully working movie studio, and you're probably not going to find a perspective much farther from what you're used to than my little porn empire.
Now you're talking. One thing you should know first, though. I ask you about the Brotherhood because I'm one of them. I know, but I had to know how you react when I told you. We have made a lot of enemies. You still okay bringing me along?
Yes, but you're on a short leash.
Fair enough. Maybe one day I'll have your complete trust and I can be on a long leash. A girl can dream. Well, thanks for taking a chance on a naive young girl from California with stars in her eyes and a pneumatic gauntlet on her hand. Let's hit the road, huh? A bunch of shut-ins who scorn outsiders and hold technology over them. Gee, where have I heard that one before?
Who are you talking about? I think she's supposed to say that somewhere else. Maybe the boomers.
Our own president murdered. Things aren't looking good. Back for more?
Not exactly.
Have a look.
I don't really need to buy anything, but that was the only option. Oh, okay. Typical New Vegas dialogue glitch. Would you rather have 50 caps right now or a chance to improve business for years to come?
I really don't know which I'd pick.
She's not as sharp as Lacey. Guess what? You don't need to choose. Pose for Lollipops magazine and you can have both.
Yeah? I'm so lucky.
Today's a lucky day for both of us. Let's get to the studio.
Okay.
Lacey has very similar recruitment dialogue, but she kind of turns it around on you. Anyway, Michelle is in the NCR faction, and since I failed Don't Tread on the Bear, I was afraid I might be locked out of asking her to pose, but obviously not. Get out the camera, take a few pictures. Whoops. She's not the first model I've pulled a gun on instead of my camera. You'd think they'd be a little more freaked out by that. Is Veronica gonna go all pervy during the photo shoots this time? Yep. In fact, it looks like she and Fresca are jockeying for the best spot to watch from. You guys. Keep it in your pants, okay? I made her nervous enough by pulling a gun on her. Still rubbernecking, huh? So, what do you think? Want to try that yourself? Yeah, you know you want to do it. Let's just make sure Michelle leaves the studio before we start another photo shoot. You know, I probably should have mentioned this to Belthan before, but there have been bug reports on the Nexus forum about models getting stuck after photo shoots, and the only time I've ever seen that happen is if you start another photo shoot while the last model is still in the basement, so that might be the root cause of the bug. Anyway.
You can't help but notice that the Brotherhood barely exists to these people out here. We're like an urban myth, no real presence on the outside. We just don't adapt like we should. Used to be that all you needed to get your way was a suit of power armor and a laser rifle. Now, people are armed and organized. They're not afraid. But we still stick to our old approach because it's all we know.
The Brotherhood's living in the past. Eventually, they'll have to change.
I think you're right. We're getting desperate. Hardly enough people to sustain ourselves as a chapter. They'll see the light, sooner or later. But I get the feeling if I don't take matters into my own hands, the change won't come in time to make a difference.
I hear that. You always have something to say, but you haven't said anything about lollipops. Is there a problem?
What do you think?
We entertain, but we also inform. Do any institutions with a PR problem come to mind?
Something to think about, I guess.
So, do you want to do an interview and photo shoot?
Well, I could do it wearing sweatpants. Or not.
Just like other companions, you can only ask
Why
Veronica...
do we always hurt the ones we care about the most?
Okay. You can only ask her to pose when you're somewhere in the building, because otherwise you could abuse the free teleport to the studio to avoid combat, or worse, to get out of locations that could break the game if you don't leave the way the game expects, like casinos, that kind of thing. And as always, the big reveal here is Veronica's hair. The game lore makes a big deal about how she's a hand-to-hand combat specialist, so it shouldn't be a surprise that she's ripped, but it also makes a big deal about how she hides her hair. Other NPCs comment on it, and if you trade items and give her other armor, she'll still wear her hood unless you give her a better hat. So if you always wondered what kind of bad hair day she was hiding, there it is.
Why do we always hurt the ones we care about the most?
Oh, Veronica. She is a lesbian, and judging by the descriptions of Bruni and her dialogue if the courier is female, she does like muscles, but she's also an author, so repeating yourself probably isn't your best bet. While we're here,
What do you need?
just want to check on the movie status.
Still editing. It looks pretty good.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
And I was going to recruit Brotherhood models while we wait, but since Michelle posed, and she's one of the most pro-NCR characters who isn't actually a soldier, I'm wondering if I'm even locked out of military models. Well, I guess Haggerty would have technically been closer, but we're here now. And this is also going to trigger one of Veronica's relationship dialogues. I don't actually need her to get into Hidden Valley, since I've already got in the hard way, and I'm probably not going to do her loyalty quest just because I don't think there's anything about it that would be particularly interesting or different if I had Kikata or Handy with me. But like I say, we're already here. Anything to say?
There's a lot more troops here than we thought. No wonder we couldn't hold Helios 1.
Yep. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I interrogated Celus years ago, so Boyd should be up here, not on the other side. Yep, there she is.
You're back.
Tough job. Grunts with bad judgment and the occasional traitor. You need some R&R.
Better believe it.
You could leave the strip hungover and broke, or leave my place feeling glamorous and 50 caps richer.
That's so.
Sorry, that came out wrong. No hanky-panky, just some good clean fun.
So what's it gonna be?
Excellent. I am not locked out of recruiting NCR military personnel as models, at least not all of them anyway. And even though they don't have clearance from the brass, my reputation is still idolized, so their speech challenges will be easy or non-existent. Pose for Lollipops magazine. It'd be good for morale. Yours, specifically.
Sounds fun.
Excellent. Can you get a few hours leave?
Yep.
And Fresca settles in to watch another one. Oh, Boyd's a pretty no-nonsense character. She goes straight for the birthday suit, no warming up in her underwear for her. Failing to prevent the assassination doesn't seem to affect your NCR reputation at all. Apparently failing Don't Tread on the Bear only locks you out of the NCR endgame, so I was panicking about nothing when I was running around frantically recruiting rangers a couple weeks ago. Veronica's being a little less pervy than usual, but Fresca can't take it. Oh, I think we're about to lose the hat. Yep. Very no-nonsense, as you might expect.
You got something to say, or do you always look like that?
Oh, that's classic. All right. When I thought I was locked out of NCR military models, I pretty much gave up on a magazine high score attempt. But since I'm not, we're back in business. I am going to go min-max my layout strategy, and next week we can finish the movie, shoot some more models, and maybe buy out Hilly, depending on what the share price is. See you then.